Hi everyone, this is Khushboo Chokshi and I hope you guys are studying well for your examination. Today what I'll be discussing is about CA Foundation Business Correspondence paper. We'll discuss about what to expect for your examination so you can plan accordingly before you actually decide to go and write the paper. So as you would know now that business communication is a part of business law, so 60 marks is business law and 40 marks is business communication. Correct? So business correspondence and reporting basically. So it includes your letter writing, pressy writing, note making, summary making, all of those things. Now there are total of 5 questions. You have to attempt any 4. Question 7 is compulsory, so that is for 10 marks. Then out of question 8 to question 11 you will have to attempt any 3 out of the 4 questions which are given to you. So you have to attend a total of 4 questions, 10 marks each, total of 40 marks. Now coming to the questions, the first question, which is compulsory. So this is basically a set paper pattern which is there, which is mostly followed by the institute. The last 4 papers have been in this similar fashion only, so it's expected that the November 20 paper would be in a similar fashion. Institute always has the right to change the paper pattern if they want to, but broadly I believe that this is the paper pattern that will be followed in your examination. So here question 7A is comprehension passage for 5 marks, B1 is note making for 3 marks and summary making for 2 marks. So these are the things which you can't leave for option, you have to study it. Comprehension passage, you have to make a summary of the passage which is given to you, and that will be about 2 marks, and then 3 marks for the questions which are asked in the you have to answer from the passage itself, so it's not very difficult. Again, note making and summary making is something that is not very difficult and which will be asked in your compulsory question. Now coming to question 8, which is the optional questions. From here on you can leave one for option, the rest you will have to attempt. So your first question will be a theory question. Theory question is basically anything which comes from what are the different types of communication, what is visual communication, what are the barriers to communication, all of these questions. So you have basically your first chapter and the last chapter meetings, which are mostly theory type of questions. Other things, are not much theory that can be asked. So first and the last chapter which are can be asked in the theory type of question, that is for 2 marks. And this theory question will be there everywhere in each of the questions. If you see question 8, 9, 10, 11, theory question of 2 marks is going to be there. The questions are pretty simple. The answers are not supposed to be like a very long answer because it's just asked for 2 marks. So that is something where you can score. Then question B1 and B2, you have synonym and antonym for 1 mark. If you know exactly what to write for that particular if you know the exact answer, you get that 1 mark. If you don't know, you get a 0. So that is how that works. Then you have direct to indirect speech, and then you have pressy writing for 5 marks. So if you see, you have pressy writing for 5 marks in question number 8. Question number 9, you have report writing for 5 marks. Question number 10, you have article writing for 5 marks, and question number 11, you have letter writing for 4 marks. So basically out of letter writing, report writing, pressy writing and article writing, you will have to attempt, you can leave one, but the others you will have to attempt. Okay. Question number 9 is again similar to question number 8. You have synonym, antonym, you have direct to indirect speech, all for 1 mark. You answer it correctly, you get your 1 mark. If you answer it wrongly, you don't get anything. Correct? And so in 9 you will have an option for theory. So you have either this or that. That is the advantage that you have there. Again, question 10. You don't have synonym, antonym, you have theory and you have article writing, but you have active to passive voice and passive to active voice, and again you have the direct to indirect speech. So if you feel that you don't know the synonym or antonym in the question number 9, you can go to question number 10, and if you think you know active to passive voice better, you can attempt that question and skip the synonym antonym question. And the last question is about idioms and phrases. So idioms and phrases, active to passive voice and then synonym. So here you have 4 questions of 1 mark each. If you know all of them, you can easily score that 4 marks in question number 11, provided you know that. Okay, so this is how the paper pattern is. Your comprehension passages, note making and summary making, this is going to be compulsory, so you can't leave that for option and go for your examination. Theory question, 2 marks will be there in each of them. Report writing, article writing, letter writing, pressy writing, out of these 4 you will have to attempt any 3, so that you should know. And then synonym, antonym, direct to indirect speech, active to passive voice, depending on your comfort, you can select the question which you want to answer and then accordingly answer. Basically it will depend on how the question is and whether you are aware of the synonym, antonym, and then accordingly you can decide whether you want to answer that question or not. So just summarizing this, there's this comprehension which is compulsory, pressy, report, article writing, letter writing, all of these. Out of these you have to attempt any 3, so any 3 of these things you will have to know. Theory is a total of 6 marks in your questions if you are attending all the compulsory questions. Synonym, antonym, again a total of 5 marks. Direct to indirect speech, a total of 2 marks. Active passive voice, 2 marks. Idiom phases, 2 marks. So these are all 2 marks each. And you have your notes making and summary making, again something which is very scoring, and you can attempt it, which is in your compulsory question for 3 and 2 marks respectively. So yeah, this is basically how the paper pattern is. Paper pattern is very, very standard. You know what you have to practice more. You have to practice your synonym, antonym more, direct, indirect speech, active, passive voice. These 3 things you can't go wrong. The others are theory questions and your comprehension passages, your pressy writing. It actually depends upon student to student, and you cannot assign like a fixed number of marks to it, because it depends on how you write, what you write at that point of time. So you can't assign a specific saying that okay, out of 5 marks I'll be at least getting 3 marks, so I'll be making 4 marks. It depends on what you write and how you write at that point in your examination. But direct, indirect speech, active, passive voice, synonym, antonym, and your idioms and phrases, these are the things which are very, very scoring. They come for 1 mark. The more you practice it, the more you will be able to answer it. So I hope this video has helped you to understand how the paper pattern is and what areas you need to focus on, what things you have to do, and what you can leave in option, what you can't leave in option. So that is it, and all the very best. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment. Thank you so much.